You're listening.
You're listening.
You're listening
to the International Posit Podcast Network. Welcome to Three Guys, Three Questions. In this lightning round, we test the limits of propriety through the questions you ask us, and later we'll follow up on listener questions and comments from the previous episode. Without further ado, here's our first question.
Actually, before we start, we should probably...
we should probably explain what's going on. So that laugh you're hearing is not Andrew or Adam from the future. It is Mike Biesterfeld.
Yay.
That's correct.
How are you doing, Mike?
I'm good. See, you messed up even Adam and Andrew.
I do it all the time. Constantly.
There's a reason why all three of us have similar sounding names.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be confusing.
Just to screw with people. I don't know who's
throwing everything off.
Yeah, no. Adam is preoccupied. He just showed up in a DeLorean and he mumbled something about, what did he say, Andrew?
Something about the Bernstein Bears, and our children, and then we're like, shoot, man, you got this.
I didn't know what was going on.
He just took off. I'm like, we'll see him eventually, I'm sure.
Apparently, he's indisposed at the moment. So we are so happy that Mike could be here to fill in. Really appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here so far.
We're all fans of your show too, so we're glad that you're
right. If you guys haven't listened to This Will Never Air, you should. And where can people find that?
At thiswillneverair.com.
Oh, that's right.
It's also on iTunes.
Search in the iTunes store.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, without any more ado, because we just adoed a little bit. We do all over it. Here's the first question. All right. This comes from Brian M. Brush via Twitter. What would the name of your second child be?
Aaron, why don't you go first?
I would name my second child probably something really nerdy. I want to give my kids like really nerdy names so that they get picked on because I feel like it builds character. So I would name him something like, Zedekiah. And people be like, "Oh, are you Jewish?" And be like, "No." Unless we do happen to become in the meantime. But,
so my dad wanted to name me Henry Savage,
mm-hmm.
but my mom was too afraid that it'd sound like Harry Savage, so they went with Andrew.
We need another syllable in here. Oh, Mike, this is a good question for you, I guess.
Oh, kind of, except that I already have two children.
Oh, I thought you only had one.
No.
So what did you name yours? You can make up a fake name. Doesn't matter. Nobody knows.
Actually, my wife and I are in the process of trying to adopt.
Right.
So we will have a third one very soon. And we have picked out a name. At least if it's a boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like I snuck one. What?
You just wing it if it's a girl. Just to see what happens.
Well, I think my wife has an idea.
Okay.
But, it's kind of been, left up to me for the boy and for her for the girl.
It's a good system.
We're trying to adopt a boy, but we don't have complete control over that. And I kind of feel like I slipped one by her because I have convinced her that Coulson is a good name.
And
which of course is Agent Coulson from Avengers and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, if you're going to be named after an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., you can't go wrong with Coulson.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think it's a pretty cool name, regardless.
Right. And it might bestow on him some sort of powers that he can die, visit Tahiti, and come back. Nice.
Well, I mean...
Or just visit Tahiti.
He did inspire Captain America. I mean, that seems like the ultimate thought leader or something.
Yeah.
Inspire the great inspirer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's way good. I thought about I'm changing mine to Cleon. Cleon is the name. All right, that's that first answer. So this next question,
Whoa, I haven't even gone yet.
you haven't? Oh, you just
No.
said your name. Okay, what do you want to
Yeah. I was gonna name my second child Tracy Jordan Jr. just to build on, because those who haven't watched the great television series 30 Rock, Tracy Jordan has 2 children, and his first child's name is Tracy Jordan Jr., and his second is George Foreman Jr. And I thought that was a great joke, and I thought George Foreman was too much on the nose, so I'd go Tracy Jordan.
Nice. He's hosting SNL this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Didn't George Foreman already name all of his kids George Foreman?
Yeah. They're all named
Okay.
George. I think maybe his daughter's named Georgina.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Just
That's awesome. I don't know. That's great. Poor kids, but whatever. This next question comes from Paperclip Crazy via Tumblr. It is
what makes your paperclip so crazy?
it's been stuck in the lower right-hand corner of Microsoft Office for so long,
Oh man.
I guess. All right. What is one thing you wish you had done in high school, like join a sport or a club? That's like explanation.
So I'll go first because I got snubbed last time. but-
Okay.
No, I would definitely would have studied more. I was not study guy, as you can tell with my English. But no, I had this firm theory that I was like, man, I don't need to study. I'll just wing it, and I could. Like I would just get straight C's. And I just barely got by.
Yeah.
And I wish. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, oh man, I wish I'd learned how to write a paper before I was 20.
Yeah.
Nice to know.
I was thinking about that. I was like wishing I hadn't wasted so much time doing all this dumb stuff in high school with people who I've never talked to again. Like in high school, they all seem like the most important people, but I don't talk to half of them anymore. Why did I think that was so important?
Oh well.
Mike, what do you think?
Well, I was in band and I did trumpet and but I really never applied myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wish I had spent more time trying in my musical classes because now that I'm an adult, I don't have the time to sit down and learn the guitar, things like that. And I feel like I wasted my possible youthful musical talent on playing video games instead.
Just live vicariously through your children. That'll work.
That always ends up well.
Well, she is signed up for singing and piano lessons, so
Nice. Nice.
Good job. I wish my parents did that for me.
I feel that way too a little bit about musical stuff. My guitar, I haven't played it in maybe like 6 months. It's just been sitting there in the corner, and every day that goes by is like it's more intimidating to get it out to play because I'm afraid of how bad I'm going to be. But that happens, It's life. Hey, if we want to get more depressing, my answer is what I wish I did in high school was date. I took everything so seriously as far as that goes. Which is funny because everything else in high school, whether it was academics or social life or popularity, any of that stuff, I did not take seriously at all. I thought it all was a joke, and I thought it was all a scam. But then for some reason, dating, I took the opposite way. It was super serious, and so I just didn't do it because I was like, obviously, if I ask her on a date, we're gonna get married. So I can't just ask anybody out on a date. And I had people I'm Uggo, and I had people ask me on dates. No, I am.
Is that an astrological sign?
Yes. Thank you for understanding. Or no, it's actually from Sex and the City. Like I'm a Miranda.
You're an Uggo.
I don't know who's the Uggo, but no, but I just wish I would have done that because it would have given me experience with learning not how to be a fedora wearing nice guy jerk for a long time.
You had to work the 12 steps to get out of that.
Start them soon.
You got to let the steps work you.
Right. All right. Well, let's go to this last question, and this is from May Soon New via Tumblr. What's your naming convention for new computer / hard drive? I like this question.
That's a good question.
Andrew.
Okay. So normally mine are completely based on pop culture that I find interesting at the time.
Okay.
I have a laptop from 2 years ago that's called the Lappy 486 because that was from Strong Bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, what do I name mine now? I'm not on my laptop I use all the time, so I don't remember. But anyway, so at one time I had one that was this. Oh, I can't even pronounce it. The Silmarillion from Lord of the Rings.
That's funny because my naming convention for the longest time were weapons of Middle Earth.
Really?
So yeah, it was like Glamdring and oh gosh, now I can't remember them all. And everyone's
things you wouldn't be able to spell without a piece of paper.
I need like umlauts and stuff like that. Does this include Sylvan letters? Yeah, but I would just do names of weapons from Middle Earth from like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Then I've moved towards now deliberate. They're called Mondegrenisms, which is a purposefully mispronunciation of a name or something.
You think way too much about this.
I don't think about it. I just started doing it. I didn't even know Mondegrenisms was a thing. I just started doing it, and then I was like, this has got to be a thing, and then spent 3 years researching it on Wikipedia. But
so you have your doctorate in this.
Yeah. So like for right now, my phone's name is Chunk Normus instead of Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Or I'll just name things my name if it's for sharing. Like I want people to see. Like my computer right now is just named Aaron L.M. Goodwin. Well, on the network, it's named Aaron L.M. Goodwin 18.
Oh, 18. So there's 17 other ones of you.
I don't really want to talk about it.
But you used to have a name, right?
I had a name.
You had you're the infamous G-Dub for a while.
Oh, right. Now people know. Okay. Don't look for that.
don't search that.
Mike, what about you? What's your naming convention?
Well, I used to have one, but since I've become the IT manager for my household, my wife doesn't appreciate her phone being called Toron or something like that. So my naming scheme used to be the colonies, the 12 colonies of Cobol from Battlestar Galactica.
That's cool.
Nice.
Because that was really popular. Like when I got this computer, and then almost immediately after that, I got married, so I didn't get to continue. Unfortunately, there's no sister planet hard drives.
Right. Oh well, at least it was good while it lasted. Well, that's it. Now let's do some follow up and feedback.
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay. The first thing is Tasmanian Devil follow-up. So in episode 2 of season 5, Adam explained about a game that was the hardest game, but that he loved, and he didn't know the name of it, and several people tweeted us or contacted us to say it's Taz in Escape from Mars.
I'm so glad that people know this stuff.
It's amazing. All of our questions from last week got answered within like 5 minutes. It was amazing. The hive mind.
More video game centered ones, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah. Keep it in our listeners' wheelhouse. Have you played that game, Mike?
I have. I found an online emulator where you can just play it in your browser.
Oh, yeah.
And it was pretty awful.
It's very, very bad. I tried it for a second. I was like, nope. It's still as bad as I remember it. So all right, that's that. And then the next thing we had follow up was Andrew Huster did something monumental, I think would be the right word to describe it.
It was pretty incredible.
The link will be in the show notes because you kind of need to see this to understand what's going on here. And the links are going to be in 11 parts, okay? Just to get you to understand how big what he did is. But in our Slack, he said, "Side room to the gym daycare sounds like an excerpt from a text adventure game." And then began to turn it into a text adventure game, which we played throughout the day.
So I will have to tell you something. While this was happening, I was getting notifications while I was in class. I was like, what is going on? And so I was like, my phone was going off like every 10 seconds.
It was pretty amazing. And I think the story has a pretty good arc. So if you follow it all the way to part 11, it's pretty rewarding. That's all I want to say.
It to a real text adventure game.
So yeah, we really should. But thank you, Andrew, for that amusing thing. Great job.
I would almost guarantee that there is a web-based Zork engine somewhere that we could feed this into.
I wonder.
Sure of it.
Oh, I'm so afraid of finding out if that's true.
You would be entering into what the CSI cyber called the deep web.
My mom watches CSI Cyber, ironically, and she is a 66-year-old woman. And even she knows that show is terrible, but she can't not watch it because it's so bad.
Yeah,
I cannot watch it because the next bit of follow up is Andrew. Do you want to explain this?
Yeah. So, who was it that was listening to it? It was Mike, right? Or Mikey? He was listening to our podcast of last week, and at the exact same moment that I mentioned setting something on fire, he witnessed a car bursting in the flames. I'm not going to say bursting. I wasn't there, but I'm going to say bursting.
Right. No, I think that's implied.
Yeah.
It basically exploded.
Yeah. So he pretty much assumed that I have magic powers, and my secret is out. So right now, somewhere, someone's listening to this, and there's going to be something on fire. Just saying.
Every time you bring up fire, something
will catch
near
on fire.
Listeners will catch on fire.
Yeah. It could even be like a really hot taco sauce. Like, oh man.
En fuego. You're a warlock. It's amazing.
Have you ever considered making a mixtape?
You know what? That gets so big. That was a good one.
I know I was giving Aaron a hard time earlier, but which one of it was you who created the super villain through Pokemon cards?
Oh, that was totally me. It's a long story.
For details on that, listen to season 5, episode 1 and episode 1.5 for further clarification about the terrible thing that Andrew did. We're never going to let you forget about it.
Hey, that was the question. I answered it.
Yeah, that's true. All right, the last item of follow-up is what I'm going to call the Great Calorie Debacle of 2015. So I was sitting here listening to us record season 5, episode 2, and I was describing a game called Mr. Chin's Gourmet Paradise. And the scoring system is kcals, so you eat food to win this game. And the points are not in points, they're in kcals. And and Andrew and Adam were talking about, oh my gosh, that's a bunch of calories, right?
Well, it finds out we don't really know that much about calories.
So
which you would be easy to explain when you.
I knew what was going on. Like, I know kcal equals cal, and I know that because I played Dance Dance Revolution as a fitness device, and it measures in kcals, and I'm like, I know I just didn't earn like 4,000 calories, like, or it was not that small. I did a lot more than that.
1,000 calories.
Right. So kcal is a calorie. That's what we call a calorie. And I think the first person to correct us on this out of the many is user BH Crumpton, Ben Crumpton on Twitter. And there was some controversy about this because he's an egg on Twitter. He doesn't have a profile picture. He joined in March of 2009, and he maybe has how many tweets does he have? 5 tweets.
So he needed to correct us, and I appreciate that effort.
Yeah. Obviously, he was going to great lengths to correct us. And some people were getting a little riled up about it, and I had to let him know that Ben is actually a good fan of the show. He's more on Reddit. And he called me out actually about a promise I made early on in the second season of the show about if you do this, I'll bake you cookies. And I thought I could rest easy at night because no one called me out on it, but I forgot on the internet, everything's still there. So he go back. Yeah, he started listening to the show and he called me out on it, and I owe him some cookies. So as soon as my kitchen is remodeled and I have an oven again, I'm baking him some cookies.
Man,
they're coming, Ben, I promise. Well, that's it. Anything else? Mike, did you have anything that you just really needed to follow up with?
No, I think I got it all out.
That's what we're here for. Just get it and let it out.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us last minute. I really appreciate it. And where can people find you?
I am on Twitter at Mike Biesterfeld. It's spelled just like it sounds. And my podcast that Aaron has been on, and Andrew is welcome to be on.
I would love to come on sometime.
Is at thiswillneverair.com.
Right. It's a great show. It's fun. I think people who like this show, this is Will Never Air is right in their wheelhouse. Other than that, I just want to thank everyone for listening, and I want you to know that if you'd like us to cover your quandary or settle debate, you can send your questions to us, and we'll provide answers as deep and meaningful as those we just gave, which I think they were pretty deep and pretty meaningful.
It felt something.
I felt something.
We did some good work today.
Right. I think we really helped people. There are several ways to send us your questions, all right? So tweet your questions with the hashtag Ask3G, leave a voicemail or text at 760-881-4382, or go to 3g3q.co/ask to submit it via Tumblr. And I want to say, I'm not getting enough voicemails or texts on this, and I think it's because people are creeped out because they're worried I'm going to answer the phone. I never answer the phone, even if it's like my friends calling me. Andrew, you can testify. How often have I answered the phone?
Immediately says, "Hey, it's 2015. Text me,"
or just, "Hey, pooping."
Yeah, which is a great way to start any conversation.
Right. So yeah, feel free. I don't answer it. It's actually a Google Voice number. It's not on my phone or anything. But so if you want to send a text with your question or call and leave a voicemail, we'll put it on the show. Feel free to do that. Until next time, though, I want you to remember the all-important and all-encompassing idea that this show is based upon. Question everything.